When I was watching all the fake outrage over Kendrick Lamar's great halftime performance, and it was great, I was saying to myself, these are probably the same people who were upset with Colin Kaepernick when he took a knee. All that fake outrage. Oh my God, he took a knee. What am I tell my children? Nothing. This dude was protesting police brutality and is actually very patriotic, but fine. That was like one of the stupidest things I've ever seen in my life in sports. All that fake outrage about some dude taking a knee. But I was thinking about that. It's like the same people who are mad at Colin, who didn't like Kendrick's halftime performance, are totally fine with Elon Musk going through our information. Elon Musk and his band of tech goons has been going through government departments, hooking up into their servers of the government and just going through all these departments. And now they want to get into the Social Security and they're going to the IRS. They want to look at your Social Security numbers and your tax information. And these people are totally fine with this. All that outrage about he's anti-American for taking a knee. Oh, what is this Kendrick Lamar stuff? They are totally fine with Musk, who's a South African by the way. He's not even American. He got a bunch of American kids. He got more kids than Nick Cannon right now. People don't even talk about that. Nick is no longer the leader. Nick, an NBA YoungBoy, is no longer the leader. It is Elon Musk with these kids at 13. But they're totally fine with Elon and his tech guys who's like 19, 20 years old and who may be, I don't know, racist. If you look at some of their tweets, allegedly. You look at some of these guys' posts, man. There's a lot of white supremacy stuff there. They don't seem to like dudes that look like me and others who might be darker or lighter than me. they don't seem to like us too much. But hey, Elon seems to be cool with them. I can't really blame Elon, to be honest. Only thing he had to do was ask. He asked Trump, "Hey man, can I go through all these government agencies and look through all this information and get into the IRS and Social Security?" Trump was like, "Yeah, do what you got to do." But see, this is where Congress comes in. The same Congress who wrapped themselves in the flag, always screaming about the founders, always screaming about the Constitution. These guys, they swear they bleed red, white, and blue. And they're the biggest cowards in politics. The Republicans in Congress, just Republicans in general who are in leadership in a whole, most of them aren't really that bright. They just know how to campaign. Most of them don't have any type of creative thought. They don't have really any thought about creating new ideas that's going to push this country forward. They just know how to campaign, and they're good at campaigning and hitting their voters. But outside of that, they're worthless. So these people who scream the Constitution, who hated probably Kendrick Lamar, who screams DEI and all that crap, they are totally fine with this South African dude going through all our information that a bunch of the Congress people probably don't have access to. They should have said to Elon, when Trump said, "Okay, Elon, you can do whatever you do and bring your boys in," Congress should have said, "Nah, hold on, buddy," because Republicans, they have the House and the Senate. The Dems, this isn't on the Dems. This is on the Republicans. They could have said, "Nah, hold on, buddy. You got to go back in the line and testify in front of us and tell us what exactly you're going to do." And they should say, "Elon, stop what you're doing. Freeze it. You got to come in on this certain date and tell us what's your plans." And then he could say what he was planning to do and who's going to be part of his team and what type of information he's going to have access to and information he shouldn't have access to. That's what they should have said. But they didn't do that. And guess what? Even if they would have okayed it, let's say this, "Okay, Elon, we're going to let you go through some of these agencies with conditions. And one of the conditions are we're going to have our tech guys go along with your tech guys to make sure there's no funny business." Now, people say, "Well, Elon's just looking for government waste." Yeah, I agree. There is a lot of government waste in America. There are tons. I know this. But there's protocol. And they're moving so fast on this. Why are they moving so fast on this? Trump's in there for 4 years. It's still 2 years before the midterm. You could go through agency, like one every couple of months or one every month. Why the speed? What are they trying to hide? What are they trying to steal? Let's say Elon's on the up and up. Let's say he's on the up and up. We don't know who these dudes are who's with him. These 19, 20, 21-year-old dudes, 25-year-olds, we don't know who they are. They could very easily be working for Elon and then also have put another file drive in there and download some other information and sell to somebody else. We could be having a whole bunch of Eric Snowden's 2.0s from one of these dudes can say, man, look at all this information. I want to sell it to Russia. I want to sell it to China. Oh, look at these plans. Or if it's just American, oh man, look at all this data. I'm going to sell it to a marketing firm. I'm going to sell this to Facebook or Amazon. All this information is a crown jewel of information for marketing. I'm just going to sell it off to different people. We don't know what these guys are doing. And if you ask Congress, do they know what's going on with Elon? They can't tell you. They say, well, he's being a true American and doing this to help us a lot. No, we don't know what he's doing at all, but they're totally fine with that. Now, the Dems are doing what they can, but I also blame the Dems on this. They knew that there was a good chance that Trump would get back into the White House. I knew this. When Trump left the White House after Biden, he looked sad and broken down. That dude was like, you could tell that he missed that office. So that first year wasn't an issue. But then slowly but surely, that dude was turning around. It's like, this dude's going to get back in there. And the Dems should have done everything they can to strengthen the things that was exposed when Trump was in office. They knew that the thing they kept on screaming about when Kamala Harris was running was Project 2025. Well, they probably knew some of that stuff was happening anyway behind the scenes. When the Dems were in charge, when it's the presidency and the Senate and the House, they should have done everything they can to kind of strengthen some of the systems in our country. But they didn't do it because they kept on fighting. They let Joe Manchin, Kristen Sinema, come up the works. How you gonna let these two stop you from doing your job? Now that's when Joe should have said, all right, if you two don't help me out, I'm cutting all y'all's funding. I ain't playing around with y'all. Y'all start voting with the rest of us, or I'm cutting off stuff. That's what Joe should have done. But Joe didn't do it. Listen, and when I look at Hakeem Jeffries, he's the minority leader. I like it. Hakeem Jeffries seems like he's a nice guy. Nice guy. But when he took over for Nancy Pelosi, Nancy Pelosi is a shark. The reason they don't like Nancy Pelosi on the Republican side is that she's a shark. And I don't think Hakeem Jeffries is a shark. I think he's a good guy. I think he's a smart guy. I think he cares. But man, you need a bulldog up in there. Just like when Mitch McConnell didn't allow Obama to name a Supreme Court justice, even though it was right as a president, and Obama should have put in his own Supreme Court justice anyway. Hakeem Jeffries should have been that dude. Hakeem Jeffries should have learned from that, saying, listen, I got to be kind of like Mitch McConnell. I got to be kind of a jerk. But that's not Hakeem Jeffries. He's not a jerk. He's a nice guy. We don't need nice guys anymore. And no more. And Chuck Schumer got to go. Chuck Schumer and his glasses looking like this. We will win. We will win. We will win. It's like, no. Listen, man, we got too many old Congress people as Dems. They got to get voted out. God bless them. But man, it's fake fighting that they do. I just feel like if you have Dems, if you have a Dem in your congressional office and they fight for you, they're fine. But if they've been Dems that's in Congress and they've been there for a long time and they don't fight, you got to vote them out. We got to primate them out. We got to get new blood in there, man. We need new leadership. The one great thing about all this stuff that's going on with Trump and Musk is that new leaders will be born out of this. This is not necessarily a bad thing. It's bad short term, but long term, this might actually be good for the Dems because you need some fire. Get together, Dems. Back to the Republicans. So yeah, the Republicans are weak. Dems don't be. When the Republicans start yelling at you about all this stuff about America and you're un-American, they're weak. They are bowing down to a South African, a smart South African. They're bowing down to a South African and a guy with a deep tan who's a game show host. This is who they're scared of. They're afraid that Musk is going to primary them out. My feeling is, if you're a Republican and you care about the Constitution and you care about America, I could care less if I'm primaried out. It's about trying to save democracy. But evidently, they're not democratic at all. This goes back to Colin Kaepernick. When he took that knee, that was American. He was standing up for the rights of people who was being gunned down by the police. Kendrick Lamar with his dances showed the divide in America with the American flag. They are far more patriotic than the Republicans in Congress. Elon, your goons, TikTok,